Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Justine Podcast. Today on So Frail Conversations, we are going to be revisiting an episode that I talked about a long time ago. Um, that episode, and as you can see from the title, is Myriad of Emotions. Um, this episode, when I recorded it the first motherfucking time, what happened? What happened, motherfucker? Something was wrong with the mic or something, the quality was just completely fucked up. But I had some gems in it, so I ain't want to waste that episode. You feel me? So I put it up anyway. But then ultimately it was fucked up anyway because you couldn't get past a certain amount because it was so fucked up. But I decided to revisit it. With season 7 underway, and then the last episode, the last podcast episode to kick off season 7 was about change. Um, I don't know. Somehow I'm gonna make this shit connect. Y'all know how I do, man. I be flowing and shit, but somehow I connect. But myriad of emotions, the intent in which I was talking about it last time was the same intent I'm gonna be talking about it this time. But with last time, I think there was something that had came up. Somebody I had spoken to or something, and they were like, "Yo, men be emotional," and like, you feel me? And y'all know I'm big on with So Frail conversations, So Frail books, all of that. Um, Big on emotions and understanding them. So Frail 3, if you've already read it, and if you got to the Tree of Life chapter, you understand the significance. Well, the Tree of Life and the Aritu chapters. Basically, Aritu are chakras, but those two chapters basically show the importance and significance of understanding your emotions. So as men, I feel like it's important to fucking talk about. Like we get caught up in our emotional state so much that we just suppress it and we don't know how to reflect and deal with it. And we become, as I say in So Far 3, emotionally retarded. You know, you can be emotionally unavailable, but you can also be emotionally retarded. You feel me? And retarded doesn't necessarily like we got mental retardation, but we got to understand that retard means to slow down, right? You can have an impediment within whatever precedes it, right? So mental retardation is somebody who has slowed down mentally. You feel me? Emotional retardation is somebody who slows down emotionally, right? So we can be unavailable men, but if we're not willing to understand our emotions and things like that, we are going to be emotionally retarded men. You feel me? Emotionally retarded is different than emotionally unavailable. Like, you feel me? It's one thing that just, to feel the emotions and ignore them. But you feel me? It's another thing to misuse them, mistreat them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Use them like that's retarded, emotionally retarded. So, like I said, I wanted to revisit it. And as you've seen from the title, it's myriad as in Meriod, as in man period, not myriad, Myriad, which is, a plethora of emotions. Although it's a nice play on words and semantics wise, it still sounds the same phonetically. It ultimately is going to be about the same thing. But as men, we need to embrace our emotions, which is the topic of this conversation, we need to address our cycles. Yes, my brothers, we have monthly cycles. I know, I know. Because we don't bleed and shit. We don't feel we got one. It's like, whatever. You feel me? We go through the same shit women do emotionally, hormonally, and shit. It's just we have masculine hormones. They have feminine hormones. You feel me? We have testosterone as our leading hormone. They have estrogen as their leading hormone. But we still share the same hormones. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless. So we share the same experience, largely because the cycles are affected by the moon. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, and then when you get deeper to that, you understand the moon affects water. So the reason why it affects the human body, for one, we're almost 70% water. Go figure. You feel me? So go drink some motherfucking water. Um, and our blood flows through our body. It's water. It's same as the moon affects the tides, high tide, low tide, the rises and shit like that. It affects us the same way. You feel me? It affects women the same way. That's what creates the woman cycle. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, biologically, her bleeding, shedding the uterine line and all that other shit. We don't have to feel that, fortunately, but at the same time, we do feel everything else. And I think the fact that we are not tapped into our emotions and not able to process them accordingly, when we get hormonal, as far as like we take that shit to a whole nother level. You feel me? Take that shit to a whole nother level. We do some weird shit. We do a whole bunch of shit because we can't control our emotions. We don't know that. You feel me? And it was a running joke. Like, people like, yo, you're on your myriad. I really sat back and started to study and research. And I'm like, I wonder if men really got them. You feel me? This is like it's too coincidental. But it's like, yo, you PMSing as a dude, and it's like, yo, I'm not PM. Like we would really get in those spaces simply because we share the same thing. But before we dive heavy into it, be sure to follow me on Instagram at the Just Scene Podcast and also at underscore just underscore scene underscore. Be sure to check out my website at iamjustscene.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of your podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And as always, that's that for this, and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into So Frail Conversations, Myriad of Emotions, Part 2. And don't forget to visit iamjustseen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit iamjustseen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit iamjustseen.com. You ever want to just chat with Scene about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit iamjustscene.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at iamjustscene.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit iamjustscene.com. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back. And by now, of course, you definitely have seen the title by now. I changed it to Myriad of Emotions Remix. Because it ain't really a part two. I'm kind of going to be talking about the same shit. But for one, I don't remember what I talked about, but I know that I talked about it. So you're not going to get exactly what I said in that episode, but the same gist and, different experiences, different times, different, stories that can come connected to that are going to be, added here that probably may or may not have been in. To be honest, I don't even remember what the fuck I said in that shit. I just know that in my head, I already have the concept of what I want to talk about. So, without further ado, let's begin. So let's start off with the period, right? This the cycle, the monthly cycle. Yes, my brothers, let's go ahead and get this out of the way now. We all have a monthly cycle. There's no way around it. We have one, right? But we're able to deny ours simply because we don't bleed. You feel me? When a woman's cycle is on, it's like, you feel me? And you can throw it out there like when a woman gets emotional, say, yo, your period on. You feel me? They can ask us the same shit. Nigga, your period on, but they don't because it's one of those things where it's so taboo and it's like, why? Now, let me say this real quick. This is not to be on no no alphabet shit. You know what I'm saying? With the trans women, is like they're even more women because they do like no. We're not doing that. We're not playing that. This is so real conversations about men that are men. You feel me? Like we're not playing that game outside of that border and outside of the box. Like this is what we're talking about. So when it comes to our emotions, first off, with our cycle, yes, we have a monthly cycle. We don't chart it. Women's cycles are easily to chart because, of course, like I said, they bleed, right? But more than the fact that they bleed, women are more expressive with their feelings, more expressive with their emotions, right? So you can kind of see when you're involved with a woman, you can kind of see it over and over again. It's like, yo, at this particular time, she gonna bleed, and then your period on, ain't it? Yeah, it's this, but and you can already spot it. Now the clash comes in is because and when we look at menstrual cycles, right? Women's cycles will synchronize with each other. Crazy shit, right? Women's cycles will synchronize with each other if they live together, right? Because the cycle somehow I don't know how the shit work. The lunar shit, the moon. I'm not a woman, so I can't express that. But the shit works. But that same shit happens to dudes. You feel me? Same shit happens to dudes. Our cycles synchronize and we experience those same things. So women, a lot of times be like, well, how come dudes don't have drama like women do? Dudes have drama like women do. Dudes have emotional drama like women do. Dudes gossip like women do. And all of it is triggered off of the emotional state. But the reason why it's it's kind of overlooked is because men can hide it. And pride and misogyny and patriarchy and all this other shit won't let us show our emotions when we get too emotional. So we would rather get emotional with a woman and be like, oh, be my piece so I can be vulnerable. But even still, we don't show our full range of emotions. You feel what I'm saying? We get to where it's like, oh, I want to confess my love, show you that I care, show you that. But like, no, you have a range of emotions. Sometimes you're elated, sometimes you're disappointed, sometimes you're upset, sometimes you're angry. You can't be good for every negative situation. But imagine that your cycle's running, your emotions and your hormones are going because your emotions and your hormones are going crazy, right? You don't know what to do, but you're suppressing. You telling everybody, I'm good. Nigga, it's written on your face, something wrong with you. You good. You can't now, you know what I'm saying? You can't say, yo, my period on. Cause that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga, what? You feel me? Because this shit's so fucking taboo. But it's a reality. It's a reality nonetheless. You feel me? And as I was saying, how women's cycle synchronize, our cycle synchronize too. So when we're in a space where like when do getting like we'll suppress it. This is why we get emotionally retarded. Because rather than accepting the feeling like, nah, I'm good, bro, I'm good. I'm good is the catalyst for emotional retardation. Think about from the time you was a kid up until now, how many times you said I'm good and how emotionally retarded you are. You feel me? And emotional retardation is not something that's like, don't look at it like an illness or no shit like that. It's just your emotions have been stagnant. Your ability to process your emotions have been stagnant. So when your period comes on, your myriad comes on, it's like, how do you control it? You bottle yourself up, you get volatile, you start, because as I mentioned in Frail 1, 2, and 3, mainly 1 though, but when it comes to our feelings and our emotions, we're allowed to express 3. Those are the 3 that get a pass, but it takes extreme things. It's anger, rage, and aggression. And it's when our emotions are out of whack, we have to channel whatever it is that we feeling into one of those 3 mediums in order to express it and be comfortable expressing it. It's a fucked up reality, I know, but this is the reality that we set as men. I just seen a post the other day where it was talking about Tyrese, Will Smith, and another motherfucker that was crying. It was another one, some Kanye, and it was like black men don't have the ability to express their feelings and their emotions, or whatever the case may be, because they get demonized. It's not just black men; it's men as a whole, but black men get it on a whole different level because we're black. You feel me? We can't be weak for shit. Like we can't. It's like we're like strength is assumed within us, just like it's assumed within our women. You feel me? But it's assumed within us too, to the point like we're default warriors. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like this is gonna deviate. Like as somebody who comes from the warrior spirit, you know what I'm saying, and warrior bloodline, shit like that. Like I come from multiple lineages too. Like you know what I'm saying. I have the warrior spirit, I have the messenger spirit, and I have the thinker spirit. Those are the 3. I got an episode on that. Those are the 3 areas of the mind in which we have to operate as men, right? And as somebody who is a warrior, I can know like every black man ain't a warrior. This is not like taking a shit on my brothers or anything like that. Like fuck musculature, fuck lifting weights, fuck all that shit. Some people really are not warriors, and that is fine because they could be a thinker, they could be a messenger. You feel what I'm saying? They don't have to be prepared for war. They're not built to be a warrior. Just because your physical body can be, can adapt to that doesn't mean that's really what you're supposed to be. So we're in a space where we're by default, yo, you a warrior, bro. Where the warriors at? Where the warriors at? Warriors gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody can't be a warrior, but everybody can go to war, but everybody can't be a warrior. You feel me? Like on 300, when Leonidas was talking to some Greek dude, and he was asking the guy, one of the Greeks that he was about to fight with, he was like, "What's your profession?" And dude said, "I'm a gardener." He was like, "What's your profession?" He said it was something else. He was like, "What's your profession?" And he was like, "Spartans, what are your profession?" And he was like, "Oh," he said, "I brought more soldiers than you," because that's what they do. You feel what I'm saying? Now, here's why it gets a lot more fucked up, because I'm tying that into the warrior spirit, because when you're emotionally retarded, you cannot be a successful warrior. You become a barbarian. I talk about this in Frail 1, where barbarism is the warrior spirit merged with self-hatred. But when a warrior spirit develops self-hatred, you get barbarism. But even deeper than that, when you're unable to control your emotions, when you're unable to control your emotions, you're unable to control your thoughts. You feel me? Feeling precedes thought. Like what you feel has to be processed in order for you to think. Otherwise, your emotion gonna be triggered. This is why the media is what it is. This is why they do certain shit that they do when they want to stir everything up. They create chaos of emotions. This is another reason why I say the United States dollar is backed by the mental health of the people, the health of the people, period, specifically the mental and emotional health. But all health of the people is what the US dollar is backed on. Shit's bananas. But it's an easy game because they control how the health is going to be. But I digress. So when we bring it back to warrior spirit, the period and myriad of emotions and all of this other shit, like this is one of the reasons why it's important to know your cycle as a man. Everybody's not a warrior, like I said, but everybody has these cycles. You feel me? Some people have predispositions to be more interpersonal in their intelligence than they are anything else. So they are able to express feelings a little bit more. You feel what I'm saying? But it's a matter of tapping in. It's a matter of being in a space to know that I can feel every range of emotion. You feel me? Not just anger, rage, and aggression. The more you express something, the sharper it gets. You feel me? Within you. So if those three emotions are the ones we're allowed to feel, that's how we're going to funnel things out. Like I said, a man can be heartbroken and he has to respond either rage, anger, and aggression. It's justified. You feel me? It's not going to be like, oh, you feel me? You know, you got to cry. You got to, like, no, those three emotions don't elicit tears. So that's another thing. You feel me? Those three emotions don't elicit tears. They elicit war. They elicit a fight. You feel what I'm saying? Like the being elated, being content, fucking being lucid. There's a plethora of feelings that we do not process on a regular basis, on a daily basis, that we don't feel. But anger, rage, and aggression, those are the ones that we're willing to acknowledge and be like, yo, motherfuckers got me fucked up. Why can't we acknowledge the other ones? Because every month around the same time, we feel the same motherfucking way. I ain't about to argue with you. I ain't about to argue with you. You feel me? And it's not just me expressing it from my own perspective of actually knowing my cycle and going through the phase of knowing, okay, I feel this on this particular day. Like the end of the month, the end of every month, I fall into a sadness. You feel me? I've been like that all my motherfucking life. Didn't know why. I would just like people be like, yo, you okay? And I wouldn't pay attention to the fact that it's at this time of the month. I wouldn't pay attention that it's like at this certain window of time. I would fall into this mental state and then come out of it and motherfuckers be like, yo, you good now, for real, for real. And it was like, why was I falling into that? It was my emotions. Not only that, it was my cycle. That's what it triggered in me. You feel what I'm saying? It triggered that. And I had to say, okay, at this part of the month, I feel happy. This part, like, and now I'm able to leverage this with Frail conversations because when people ask me, how do I do what I do? How do I stay focused? How do I know when I should move, when I should stop, when my period is on or off? I know it sounds so crazy hearing it like that, right? But I'm saying it for dramatic effect so it can stick in because I know how I'm going to respond emotionally. I know where I'm going to be emotionally at what particular time of the month, at what particular section of it. As like women have ovulation cycles and other shit like that that is within their period. You feel me? Men, we don't necessarily have that part. But as far as the emotional side, we feel it. We feel it. So when I'm in my spaces where I'm like, okay, when I need to do something creative, for example, if I have to create an ad set, right? Considering an ad set, like, so if I'm running something new for my ads, I created a new piece of merch, or I just want to change shit up because it's been running for so long it's stale. What I'm gonna do is not do anything towards the end of the month. It's no point because the end of the month, that's when I fall into a negative side of myself emotionally. Yeah, I can process my emotions. Yeah, but in addition to that, I have to overcome the willpower to do that. I have to get the willpower to say, man, let me face this shit. Why am I feeling like this? And I be knowing why I'm feeling like that. You feel me? I know why I'm feeling like that because of the cycle. It has really nothing to do. And like people be like, and as a man, it gets hard because everybody's expecting you not to be emotional. You feel me? Where I would wear mine on my sleeve, but I've learned how to process. I'm like, yo, this is how I'm feeling. This is really how I'm feeling. And so it's like when I'm in those moments where I need to be creative, when I need my willpower the strongest, it's always like right after the end of the month, like in between, like usually the first week of the month. That's when I have my most energy, my most vibrant energy. Like my emotions are more elated and I'm more content. I'm all like, that's when I tap into those emotions and those feelings. You feel me? I say, okay, bam, let me fuck with that. Let me fuck with that. Let me use that energy. By the end of the month, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing shit because now it's gonna fuck with. Because I've learned that, especially as an entrepreneur, I learned that in learning my cycles and learning when I'm in that negative space, I would try to do work through that, just try to get out of hump. No, just sit with it, embrace it. It's like, yo, I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling aggy. I'm feeling whatever. Why? You feel me? Now, granted, in addition to it being the hormonal changes within me, it is triggered by some shit outside of me. You feel me? As men, we're so, oh, nah, you responding like a female, you emotional like a female. Hey, look, let them say what they want to say. You feel me? Let them say what they want to say. But they can't in one breath say, you know, understand the woman to get like, you got to, in order to understand a woman, you have to understand feelings. It's as simple as that. You feel me? Women, oh, understand this, but don't be emotional. I gotta experience the emotions and know what the fuck you feeling so I can console you. Or I'm gonna just ignore you and say, okay, you'll get your shit right. Like, hit me up when you done tripping. You feel me? Now I understand why you tripping. Because I was tripping too. And now tying it back into how cycles merge within women's relationships, like when they live together and shit like that. And I learned this when I was an undergrad. I was in a I was in a woman's suite all the time, but like, and it's because of the girlfriend I was with. Not that I was hoeing or no shit like that at that time, but it's like I would notice like the women would knock on each other's doors. Hey, yo, you got a pad, you got a tampon or something? My period coming on. Girl, mine too. I ain't think nothing of it because I ain't got one. What the fuck? But it's like that cycle came around, and I was like, I was listening to the women talk. It was like, yeah, my complete cycle changed. Same women in the suite, like, yo, mine too. And like now it's aligned because they live together. You don't think that same shit is gonna happen to you as a man living with a woman? And when we have not acknowledged that we have cycles too, when we get those friction moments that happen in the same pocket every single month because her period is on and we don't know what the fuck the problem is because our period is on too. We just not bleeding. The same shit is happening between the two of us. You feel me? The same shit is happening between the two of us, except mine is is testosterone based, hers is estrogen based. What you think that means? What you think that's gonna do? You feel me? It's gonna cause a clash. So we're not arguing for nothing. We're not upset with each other for nothing. It's no apparent like, our cycles have aligned and it clashed. This is another reason why like they're like, yo, why can't women live together? Men can't live together either. Men really can't live together either, but men are willing to put that aside more so because we can't deal with emotion. If the world did not make emotions taboo for men, ooh wee, that shit would be worse than Bad Girls Club. Like that shit will be. Y'all remember Bad Girls Club? The motherfucker like women can't live together because they gonna start fighting. No, after a while, like pay attention to how Bad Girls Club start. You feel me? Like this is something that I started to pay attention. Like again, I'm very, very detailed and I'm very, very observant to so much shit. It's scary. But like from the beginning of Bad Girls Club, like if you watch the season, right? Let's say you're looking at season 6 or some shit. And from the first episode to the final episode, right? Watch how it plays out. It's like when they first get in there, everybody's cool. There's no problems. After like a week or two, they start to click up. Who's gonna fuck with who? Who's gonna fuck with who? And then it starts to roll. The next thing you know, this person don't like this person. The cycles are starting to synchronize at this moment. That's what they don't show you as part of the quote unquote reality of the TV. You feel me? They're starting to synchronize. And they start to bump heads because they're feeling the exact same emotion at the exact same time and they're in a space of chaos that is triggering it. So they blow the fuck up. Men do the same shit. Men do the same shit. You just don't see it as often. The best example that I have as far as reality TV is on Demand when Ness fought what's the other dude name? It won't Dylon. He didn't fight Dylon. Shit, what was the dude's name? I can't think of his name off the top of the head right now. They reached the point where their cycles was on the same point. Volatility. Men can't live together just like women can't live together, but it's not that they can't live together. It's the fact that our cycles coincide and we're not aware of the emotions that we're feeling, so we're not processing them correctly. Because emotions and hormones go hand in hand. You feel me? Sometimes, like, if your emotions or your hormones are out of whack, your emotions are crazy. But is it really that? Or could it be that because your emotions are not understood or not taken care of correctly, your hormones go out of control? The shit goes hand in hand. But in addition to that, biologically, hormones are secreted from glands, right? But in order for hormones to be secreted, your body needs healthy cholesterol in them. This is gonna go into the biology side of it too, and the health side of it too, because it's like, think about how fucked up. Think about the things that cause fucked up cholesterol. You feel me? Eggs and shit and all. Like, think about the shit we eat on a regular basis. You feel me? A lot of the shit that they quote unquote say is good for protein and shit has a lot of cholesterol in it. Cholesterol is fat. You feel me? We eat a lot of fatty shit, and we wonder why our emotions are so fucked up. Our emotions are fucked up too, based on the catty shit. I mean, the fatty shit that we eat. I said catty because in So Frail too, I talk about the emotionally retarded, emotionally unavailable man being catty and argumentative. You feel me? It's like, why does this man argue? He argue like a female. He don't argue like a female. He argue like a motherfucker with emotions behind him that have not been processed. You feel me? So we can in one breath be in a space where we're shunning the shit and then wanting to see it at the same time. I want a man, like women would tell us, I want a man who can be open with me, who can be vulnerable. I can't be vulnerable because monthly is gonna be like that. They act like we only have emotions like for big dramatic shit. And that's where the problem comes in. We don't. Sometimes we get real irritated over the smallest things, just like fucking women do. You feel me? Another thing that really happens to me, like when my cycle is there, like I have an angry moment. Like I really have an angry moment that comes just before the little negative energies of space, and like right after some good. Like I have a moment. Like I say, it lasts about 2 or 3 days where I'm angry, like just angry, like fucking angry. Everything irritates me. The way a motherfucker chew. If I can hear you chew in that moment, I'm mad. I just, ooh, like every little thing bothers me, right? But I know that about myself. And then when I know what triggers are going to make me like, when I start to feel that, oh man, it's that time. And if you don't shut the fuck up, like this is what it's gonna be. Like you feel me? Like these things are realities that as men we have not addressed yet. Not because they aren't there, because they aren't real, but because we have not had the reason to look into them. You feel what I'm saying? Like we have not had the time at all, ever, to tap into them. Because think about it, our cycles have been on since we were kids. Women's too. Women just actually started bleeding at like we're in a society that has limited everything to physical. So if you don't see physical shit, you don't know the mental, spiritual, and emotional sides of it too. Women have had cycles since they were born. We've had cycles since we were born. Why? Because we had blood since we were born. We've had hormones since we were born. Our bodies have been made of over 70% water since we were born, and it's been affected by the moon ever fucking since. Is when women between the ages of 8 and 13 when they actually start bleeding. But until that point, they've already had the cycles of emotions on that level. We've had it too. You feel me? But when oh, you acting like a little girl. So imagine hearing this shit since you like we got to stop crying when we learn how to walk. Like you feel me? After once we learn how to walk, we can't cry no more. We gotta fix our face. Motherfuckers gonna give us something to cry for. We can't feel shit. And a lot of the shit that we feel now when we tie it to the masculine side, because you know we big on that over here with Soul Frail Conversations and being the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction. That's our predisposition. That's our default, right? So imagine when we're not able to analyze and deconstruct successfully or healthily, and it's triggering with our emotions. We get flustered. You feel what I'm saying? But when we don't know how to deal with it, oh, you're throwing a tantrum. Go sit in timeout. No, help me process this shit, nigga. You the adult. Guide me. I'm not dealing with your motherfucking attitude. You a child. Go sit in timeout. Okay. Okay. And then you start to see motherfucking those, those shows where the motherfucking kids snapped and they standing over the parents with a knife. I hope that doesn't happen to you. I hope that's not a problem. But think about that shit. How much do children go through as a whole anyway? And then like how much of them do we deny? You feel what I'm saying? We definitely got it all hard. You know what I'm saying? This is not a hierarchy thing. It's like black people's situation is fucked up across the diaspora. Like it ain't no, it, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no we're worse. Like, no, as us being cultivated, it's like a lot of shit we're denied and deprived from. If men going forward knew you had a cycle, if you knew you had a cycle when you were 13 and 14 years old, think about some of the shit that you've been through, some of the shit that you had moments where I didn't even think about that shit. I could have avoided that shit. Think back to those moments. What were you thinking? Not a fucking thing, but you were feeling. You were feeling like a motherfucker. You feel me? It's these feelings that get us, that throw us the fuck off, that make us do stupid shit. Why? Because we do not understand it. But as I always say, tying it back to law, ignorance of something is not the absence of something. Just because you are unaware of it does not mean it does not still affect you the same motherfucking way. Why? Because we still got blood in our bodies. We're still 70% water. We still have hormones. You feel what I'm saying? So when that lunar shit hits us, it hits us. Like we really look at it like, you feel me? Motherfuckers will say that kids, like, I know we used to do this in school. When we will fight, like when it'll be a big ass fight in school or some shit, like the gang fights and all of the shit, it's around the time when the new moon or the full moon is about to hit. Oh, it's a full moon out. Why do y'all know that that's real, but then deny this? Like, why do y'all deny this shit in real time? Oh, it's a full moon. This must be doing this. Like, you can't pick and choose when you want to honor the shit. You can't pick and choose when you want this shit to be a part of your life. You feel me? That full moon shit, it's the moon has multiple phases. Full, new, waxing, and waning. Is, you know what I'm saying? 4 phases or whatever the case may be, and all of the phases in between as the moon rotates. But in each phase, it affects your emotional state. You feel me? I could easily ask the question, how the fuck do we not know this shit? But it's not, it doesn't make sense to know. Women barely even know about their own, and this like women have they have more proclivity to see it. We don't, and women barely even know about the shit. You feel what I'm saying? So you can only imagine that it's like it's left out for us because you know why? Everything is based off physical. Nothing touches your emotional state, nothing touches your mental state, nothing touches your spiritual state. But all of those things are tied into your cycle. You feel me? You may experience different feelings, different, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we in a month's time, in a 28-day cycle, we are going to feel every feeling we have, every emotion we have. Some emotions, some feelings. Let me say that because I know I did an episode in in the actual Soul Frail books. I talk about there being a distinction between feelings and emotions. Emotions, there's only two: joy and pain. Feelings are everything else that lead to either joy or pain, right? So when we're analyzing our feelings, we just ignoring them. You feel me? Because we got like 5 that we really want to really fuck with: anger, rage, aggression, happy, and horny. Just think about it. My brothers, really just think about it. Those are the 5 fucking feelings that motherfuckers allow us to feel. That's perfectly fine. So now we tie this into a societal conditioning and how it's so perceptive that the black man is violent. The black man is evil. The black man is he's aggressive. He's angry. Why? Or he's sexually deviant. Look at everything that we do that we put emotion to is tied to one of those 5 things: anger, rage, aggression, happy, and horny. Think about it. We're programmed for this shit. And the only reason why we're programmed because we don't know our own programming. And we don't know how we're programmed. You're programmed according to your emotional cycle. You feel me? That's why you get violent motherfuckers. Violent motherfuckers without the discipline to be violent. You feel me? Violence is a response to a feeling, which is one of the 3: anger, rage, and aggression, whatever the case may be. But that's where it transitioned from a warrior to a barbarian. Warrior has a discipline to be violent. Barbarians ain't disciplined enough to be violent. This is why we go shoot up the motherfucking hood and hit everybody but the nigga we was going for. We violent as fuck, but we ain't got no discipline to be violent. That's why we don't hold the gun straight. We turn the bitch sideways. Because ain't no discipline to be violent. You feel me? 4th of July, motherfucking New Year's, we shooting shots in the air because we don't have a discipline to be violent. We're not realizing that what goes up must come down. This shit, like, my motherfuckers get shot on a regular basis on some accidental shit because niggas is licking shots off in the air. Thinking the bullet just gonna go straight up and never come the fuck down. It's like, fuck gravity and shit. You feel me? But alas, it is what it is. And it connects so heavily to this reality that we don't know our feelings because we're not in tune with our periods. From up north, motherfuckers pulls. But yeah, we not in tune with our periods. We don't know our monthly cycles. You feel me? We don't know our monthly cycle. So it's like when you don't know your monthly cycle, when the monthly cycle affects you, you're just like, what the fuck is happening to me? I just don't like you get moments where you ever got a moment where you just felt lazy? That really fucks with your mind. You really don't feel like doing shit. So now you trying to overcome inertia and you feel me? Oh, I just gotta do this shit. I just gotta do this. And okay, if I could just get over it. You can't because you got to figure out what emotion that you're feeling right now. You got to understand what feeling that it is that you're tapping into that's preventing that. You feel me? You hear it all the time where they be like, well, women go through all this shit and still get up and go through because women are allowed to process their feelings a lot more than we are. Simple. They're like, okay, I experienced this. Like they know I'm feeling this type of way every single month. We know I'm feeling this type of way every single month, but I'm not supposed to be feeling that way. On their side, they know they're supposed to be feeling that way because it's their period. On our side, something wrong with me. I'm emotional, yo. I'm tripping, bro. I'm wilding, yo. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I need to go see some bitches. I need to go do something like, you feel me? No, you need to be alone. You need to be alone and understand what the fuck you feeling. You feel me? Understand what the fuck you feeling so you could absolve its hold on you. You dig what I'm saying? But motherfuckers think we be, you know what I mean? Like, shit crazy. Like now that I brought this out, I can, like certain episodes, like if you hear like I record 2 episodes a week, right? But they all fall in line with certain aspects of my cycle. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you can hear different inflections, different feelings, different things based off of what I'm talking about. So something that I try to do to avoid that, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm a very passionate person anyway. Now, when I'm passionate and I'm emotional too, because the cycle is on and I'm talking about this when I'm in my angry phase, oh, you're gonna think I'm mad. You feel me? But I don't be. I do be. I do be. Let me not even hold you. Because it's like I was in that angry space. But I learned that when those moments happen, like if I gotta record a podcast, I'm going to intentionally set something up that is like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I put jokes in this. Let me go down my content list. Let me see which episodes I wanted to talk about and let me go into something that I know can be humorous, that I know can be lighthearted. I'm not gonna come in with the smoke if I know I'm in a smoke-driven mentality. The fuck? If I'm choosing violence right now, I'm not gonna do no violent shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm like, all right, I need to understand what feeling it is that I'm feeling. When those moments when I'm feeling down and I don't feel like just doing shit anyway, I'm not gonna bring that energy into it because I understand what I'm feeling. So I switch it. You feel me? I do something, out for those, I do something more stern as far as learning something. And it's like, yo, because I can be objective. When I'm in those emotional states, I don't want to give it all. So I become objective. So I move that way. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, when I'm happy, I let that shit run. That's when you get those episodes that tend to be longer than the average episode. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, yo, when you gonna stop, bro? I'm not like I'm feeling good, and this is a topic that aligns with that. I've learned how to tweak that shit. This is one of those reasons why I don't know if you follow me on my main Instagram page, but like after I wrote So Frail 2, like there's a chapter in So Frail 2 that I regret writing. Well, I regretted at one point. Somebody talked sense to me and they was like, bro, this chapter works still. Regardless of how you felt or whatever, I wrote that chapter in an emotional space. I was very angry at the time. It happened to be in my cycle of, when I was in that angry spot, and then there's a lot of bullshit going on in the world. So when I wrote that chapter, it was Kundalini. The Kundalini chapter. Yeah, you could tell the way the shit start off. Like if you got So Frail 2, read everything else, and it's like, oh, it's flowing objectively. I'm mad as fucking Kundalini. I'm mad as fuck because of all the fuckery that was going on, all of the other crazy shit. And I chose to write in that moment of my cycle when I was angry. And it came out on paper. I meant to say every bit of the shit that I said, but the reason why I didn't like it because I wasn't supposed to put that emotional space in there. Because if my whole theme is So Frail is about masculinity, right? As analysis and deconstruction, but being able to, I needed the whole thing. I show my feminine side in that chapter. You feel me? I showed my feminine side in that chapter from the perspective of, yo, I knew I was on my cycle. I knew I was angry. I knew I was tight. And I wrote that shit anyway. And I used the examples that was gonna make me angrier while I was writing the shit. You feel me? That's why like several times within that chapter, I'm like, yo, still coon shit. Like I was in that space. But I will say that it was needed for whatever. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It was just needed. Because everybody that still read it was like, damn, it still provided what it was supposed to provide. But I realized for myself that my cycle was on when I wrote that shit. You feel me? And again, this shows how strategic I get with my emotions and my feelings. You feel me? Certain shit I will not do if my feelings are fucked up, if I'm not in a good space to be doing the shit. Like, you feel me? But if I am in a space and I know it's a non-negotiable, it has to get done. That was another thing about Soul Frail too. It's like, yo, this shit has to get done. Kundalini, I think, was the last chapter. If I'm not mistaken, it's the second to the last chapter. And then after that is the final thought. Or yeah, second to the last chapter, third to the last chapter. It's one of the final chapters. I was like, I need to get this book done. Fuck it. Let me go ahead and write it. But I made sure that I was a lot more aware and more intentional of that when I did Soul Frail 3. Soul Frail 3 is the longest one that I had to write, but there was so much more that I had to put into it. But at the same time, in writing them, I had to, oh, I can't be feeling this way. I can't give you objective information when I'm feeling this. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do it. Kundalini showed that shit. You feel me? But like, these are other aspects that affect us. You feel me? This is why, like, you ever notice how a basketball player can have a phenomenal game? I'm not gonna say his cycle was on or it ain't, but at the same time, when he has an off game, it's like, yo, something's off. What is it? And it's like nobody can figure out why. What if he's in the cycle phase of his cycle where shit just ain't gonna work? But then you have those moments like I watched LeBron James interviews and shit, and I've seen where he would say things like, yo, it felt like I was throwing a golf ball into the ocean. And then you look at his numbers and it shows that. You feel me? A lot of that is his athletic prowess or whatever the case may be, but a lot of that is emotional based. His emotions is he's in a clear, cool spot for his emotions to not affect his decision making because his cycle is not in a fucked up space. He's at the point of his cycle where things are good. You feel me? There's an ebb and flow, a high and low of everything we do. You feel me? But do we know how to access that? Hey, bro, for real though, at some point we gotta stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSaying.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now. Like, you feel me? This is why I really don't spend time arguing with the dudes who argue with women. Oh, you just like, no, bro. You don't even know your cycle yet. I can tell because you're on your shit right now while you in my comments and all you talking this crazy shit. People be asking me like, yo, how do you know how to neutralize people's feelings? For one, I don't take them on. And for two, I know that I'm not going to allow your energy to affect mine because I know how to transmute energy because I understand feelings. You feel me? Most guys, most men, because we're only able to, comfortably express anger, rage, and aggression, happy and horny and shit. You feel me? When we're approaching another dude, those are the only like Think about it. Just off of those five feelings that we're allowed to feel. This is why motherfuckers, this is why I said the Paul shit. And it ties into this. This is why motherfuckers think everything is gay. Because if it's not within those three feelings, that's permissible for a man. Anger, rage, and aggression. You feel me? You like, yo, that's gay. Happy and horny. Because you can't be happy and horny with a man if you're straight, right? You feel me? But those are the five that we have, right? So if we with our homies, we with our, you know what I'm saying? It's like we have to be doing aggressive shit. We have to be doing overbearing shit to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why I gotta be all in that? Like we laugh at the aggression that we choose. We teach our little boys fight early and they think that it's playtime. Then we get mad when they go to school to fight. No, I think that this is how I'm supposed to be good. You feel me? Like my nephews when they was young, I'm guilty of it. And this is why I'm saying, this is why I'm speaking on it. Like I used to do that. Yo, put your hands up. Yo, fight. I would never hit them like, you know what I'm saying? Like they go off the streets, no shit like that. But you feel me? So as I'm playing with them, like, put your hands up. I'm allowing them to hit me as hard as they can. Because I know it don't hurt me. Like they're babies at the time. But what seed was I planting? Because as I'm telling them fight, they're smiling. They think this is playtime. I'm fighting with Uncle Ray Ray. You feel me? The shit didn't dawn on me. The shit really did dawn on me because my oldest nephew, he's a teenager now. I think he's on his, he about, damn. I don't even know how old he is. He should be about 18, some shit. Nah, he ain't that old. He ain't that old. We 17 years apart. So he like fucking 14, 15 or some shit. Yeah. So, but anywho, you feel me? So I had not had any of this information that I have now. I have not grown to learn these things. Same with his little brother. You feel what I'm saying? It was like, yo, fight. Let's fight. And they just laughing like, I didn't realize it was an issue until I did the same shit with my niece. My youngest niece. And we had this thing we were always playing, like, you feel me? Whenever I'm like, you want the smoke? Do you want the smoke? She'd be like, yep, I want the smoke. And she put her hands up. And that's playtime for her and Uncle Ray Ray. That is playtime. It's not, and I'm allowing her to hit me. I'm allowing her to hit me as hard as she can, but actually hit me. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? So for her mind, it's playtime. You feel me? So much so, anytime she sees me, from the first time we run into each other, Uncle Ray Ray, you want the smoke? I'm like, not right now, Laser Bear. All right, but I got you. I got you in a second. Get my energies right, and then we go. She want the smoke. We go wrestle. So, and we play around, and you know what I mean? I get her hand straight to say, okay, bam. I knew it was problematic when she went to school asking kids, do they want the smoke? My sister calls me and like, so guess what your niece did today? Like, what? She said she went to school and was asking all the students, do you want this smoke? I said, damn. And she was like, I said, did she give them the smoke though? She said, I don't know. She was just asking people, you want the smoke? It's playtime for her. You feel me? She doesn't know that I have processed something as a joke between us that is actually a real world thing, that is actually a violent thing. So it got even deeper because, you know, she's playing with my mama one time, right? They wrestling or whatever the case may be. I don't know why, but that's just how they were rocking. She put my mama in the headlock and was like, you want this smoke, Nina? Huh? You want this smoke? Everybody busted out laughing because it was like she wasn't really like in an aggressive state, like she was really trying to fight or hurt my mama and shit. But it just shows how it was like she thinks this is playtime. You feel me? She thinks it's playtime. Same shit with my nephews. They thought it was playtime. So now I'm now attributing the smoke, anger, rage, and aggression. You feel me? And this is for us as men now. Anger, rage, and aggression. We've been going up with this shit all our lives. So now when we get with our homies and shit, we can't be, you know, we have to be aggressive with our home. We have to be aggressive and rough at all times with our homies. Not that we have to, but we do. We talk shit to each other. It's like it's not until we are really hurt and broken that has transcended what we're allowed to or what we're permissible to show emotion for or show feelings for. And because of that, I don't think we realize that our strength is really not strength at all. we extend the pain, extend the pain threshold and numb ourselves to it. We're not really strong. You feel me? True strength is it not hurting, right? The pseudo strength is it hurting and we ignoring it. Oh, you so strong. I'm not strong. I'm weak as fuck, man. It's you feel me? I just seen a post the other day. It's like, yo, men, who do you talk to? Nobody. Do you know why? Because this ain't about anger, rage, and aggression. When I'm feeling anger, rage, and aggression, yeah, I can talk to my homies, yo, bro, calm down, fuck that, like, but I'm feeling good, yo. What the fuck you so happy for, nigga? You just smiling and grinning and shit, nigga. Like, fucking, you know what I mean? It's like there's never that moment. But like I said, when we experience something that's traumatic and real, like first time I was 14 years old. First time I seen my homeboy cry. He was like 13. No, I was like 15. 15, 54. We were a year apart, so whatever it was. But first time I seen him cry. I mean, cry for real and be comfortable letting it out. Like, you know those moments when we fell off bikes and shit, and your shit welling up, but you like, yo, don't cry. It's like, your shit bleeding, gushing out, and you doing everything to keep the tears from falling. You're not even trying to doctor your wound. You trying to keep the tears from falling. That's the kind of people we were. So it was like, the first time I ever seen him cry uncontrollably was when his grandfather passed. It's like, damn. I didn't clown him. You feel me? There was nothing to clown because it was a different pain. It was a different pain, and we knew it. We felt it. It won't like, you know what I'm saying? You slip on some ice and hit your head and almost damn near get a concussion. You feel me? And you laugh about it. You feel me? Because you can't be hurt. Like I don't know if did I mention in one of these podcast episodes? Me and him, the same homeboy, we was fixing our bikes and shit, and he threw a socket wrench. He was trying to throw it into a shed, but I was standing in the line. The bitch hit me right in the forehead. I'm damn near concussed out this motherfucker, and I wouldn't cry. Like like the shit hurt so fucking bad. It's like as soon as the shit hit me, it felt like I got an instant migraine. My eyes are watering up, but I'm not gonna cry. It hurt emotionally. I'm fucked up. Like I'm confused, discombobulated and shit. And it's like everybody laughing, like, damn. But it's not. We're not laughing at it. It's our coping mechanism, low key. He was like, damn, bro, yo, I'm sorry, yo, my bad, my bad. But it was like it wasn't able to acknowledge the actual pain. And me, I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. I'm about to have a fucking concussion. I'm talking about I'm good. Oh shit. All because we're not able to really express our feelings. You feel me? That's really what it boils down to. I know it seems like, all right, it's going all over the place, but nah, that's really what it is. Like I felt something. I felt the pain, but it was a physical pain. And it was a physical pain that exceeded the threshold. What that actually it didn't exceed the threshold because I didn't cry. You feel me? Like they were there. Don't get me wrong. The motherfuckers was there. Like it's like if I would have blinked twice, shit would have failed. But I said I ain't gonna cry. Bruh, you got a whole knot on your fucking head. You have a concussion. You can't go to sleep for the next 12 hours. What the fuck is you talking about? You feel me? Gosh, I said, yo, just give me some ice, man. I'm gonna be good. You feel me? I'm spinning dizzy and shit. He like, yo, bro, man, I'm real sorry, yo, my bad, for real, for real. I was like, yo, it's good, bro. It's good. Like shit spinning, hurting, pounding like a motherfucker. You feel me? But again, anger, rage, and aggression. Now, if I would have fought him, if I would have been like, yo, it would have been justified by, yo, the nigga hit you with a wrench. It wasn't something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? But it's like those are the things, like when we get to that point, like that's what's permissible. Those type of feelings. You feel me? But I knew I wasn't angry because I knew it was an accident. I knew he didn't hit me on purpose. That's why I didn't get mad. That's why I couldn't get upset. So there was no reason for me to channel anger, rage, or aggression. And I damn sure wasn't about to be happy and horny from getting hit in the motherfucking head. So it was just like, yo, I'm good. But there were so many different other feelings and emotions that came to play that I'd never tapped into. I was confused. You feel me? I was nervous. I was scared. You feel me? There was so much other shit. Like, yo, I got a concussion. One of my homeboys' mom, she was like, yeah, that looks like concussion. You can't go to sleep. I was like, what you mean? She said, if you go to sleep, you might not wake up. That's how bad concussions are. I was like, whoa, I'm scared as fuck. Cause I'm like, she was like, are you sleepy? I was like, I told her no. I was like, no, but I was a little bit, but I was scared to go to sleep. That's a feeling I couldn't process. Oh, I'm not scared. I'm good. I'm scared as fuck. Yo, bro, cause what if I just pass out? And then like, yo, my shit was really like that. Cause that's our natural instinct. You know what I'm saying? Go get you some crackers and some ginger ale and take a fucking nap. You be good. That's what I was gonna go do. But she told me not to take a nap. She told me not to go to sleep. So that scared me. There's other feelings that I completely ignored in that situation. You feel me? How often do we do that shit? You know why? Because we're not in tune with the feelings that we get on a regular basis. We get scared all the time, nervous all the time, angry all the time, depressed all the time, sad all the time. But what do? I'm good. I'm fucking good, bro. Nah, man, I'm straight. Nah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You not. You feel me? I remember when I first got my heart broken and I was trying to, be tough and shit. I almost cried. Like my homeboy came and he was like, "Yo, what up, bro?" Dapped me up and shit. We ain't seen each other a minute because we were coming back to school and shit. And he was like, "How your girl doing?" I ain't my girl no more, bro. I'm still trying to be strong. He was like, he said, "What, she moved on?" I was like, "Yeah," and I had to look out the window, I was about to cry and shit. He was like, "Damn, bro. Damn, damn." That's all he could say. But I felt them. It was just like, that's what we do. You can't console me. You can't talk about, you know, you're not gonna be able to, because we're not there. Not in the sense that me and him want friends like that, but as men, we not there to be able to look at our feelings like that. Look at the Best Man 2 or the Best Man Holiday, whatever it was, when Morris Chestnut didn't break down till they lowered her casket down, bro. I don't think people really get that. I don't think people really get the depths of that shit. You feel what I'm saying? What level of pain, how far do you have to push your pain threshold to deny feelings until you see the person die? This it affected that man on a whole different level. It affected that man on a whole different level to the point where his homies didn't talk about it. He didn't tell anybody because his thing is, I, as a man, and this is why it sticks with soul frail conversations. As a man, I have to figure out how to help my wife. I refuse to believe that it's the end. It's not over. In his mind, it's not over till it's over. And when it was over, he had not been able to prepare for what happens when it is. That shit, seeing that scene hurt me because it was just like, I know that feeling of bottling it in and holding it so much that you can see it on your face. Throughout that whole movie, yo, his eyebrows were never up. He was always intense. His fist was like that moment after they lowered the casket when you seen his hands open. He was no longer holding the fist. And then when he cried, it was like a little boy crying. He just collapsed. And that was the only moment his homeboy looked back, Tay Diggs looked back and was like, "Oh shit." And his homeboy held him while he cried. That was it won't quite like that. But that's how I held my homeboy when his grandfather died. You feel what I'm saying? It took that to be able to say, you can let your feelings out. You feel me? I got you, bro. I got you. I got you. Let it out. Let it out. I got you. You feel me? And it's deep like that because it's a part of the myriad of emotions. We do not process them. Now, I'm not saying, if a motherfucker die, you ain't still gonna cry. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, you have already made peace before. Like, imagine if he would have been able to address like anger. That's his feeling, but he took it out on the football field. Anger, rage, and aggression are the one like that. That's what makes us great athletes. But it's also what makes us violent. You feel me? I don't condone domestic violence in any way, shape, or form. I don't condone a man hitting a woman. I don't condone a woman hitting a man. You feel me? In any way, shape, or form. But at the same time, I get it. I get it. I get it because my physical response to you is how you made me feel emotionally. It wasn't until I experienced like a woman with a woman who's emotionally abusive. It wasn't until I experienced it, and it's like, yo, you made me want to punch in your motherfucking mouth. Again, I don't condone the shit. I never hit her. I never put my hands on her. You feel me? Yeah, I did. I picked her up and slammed her one time when she kicked me in my chest. But I ain't slammed her like I slammed her on the couch. Like, yo, calm down. Y'all know how we gotta do it. Shit. Like, yo, calm your motherfucking ass down because she kicked me in my chest. You feel me? But she had spoken words to me that was like, yo, if you was a nigga, I'd beat the shit out of you for saying that shit. You feel me? But it's like, you can't express that. You feel me? Because there's levels in which, and this is what I'm saying, like, when you're not able, as a man, able to process your feelings, like, it's pain that you're feeling. You feel me? Motherfuckers who be beating women and shit, they're gonna beat something that's defenseless. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna fight, the man or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it's like their emotions are triggered. They're very emotional beings. They're very emotional beings and they respond violently because, physically violently because I can't be catty argumentative. You feel me? I'm not gonna say no words that'll, you feel me, cut you down. It's like, and then that's why they say sticks and stones, and they got us believing sticks and stones break bones, words are never. Fuck that. Words will make you kill a motherfucker. Real shit. Real shit. Every fight that I've been in my life, not every fight, not every fight. I say about 60% of the fights I've been in was because of what somebody said or what somebody heard. You know what I'm saying? How I made them, what they said, like, man, yo, I heard such and such said, you said this about me. Oh, so you heard that and it made you feel this type of way. Now the feel is the fight. So we got to fight. You ain't come over here for nothing. Whether I said the shit or not, I don't give a fuck. But you feel me? And it's like, you don't know the things that you say that can trigger somebody else's feelings to make them respond how they need to respond. But why though? Because we don't understand feelings. And not only do we not understand them, we don't respect feelings of a man. But my brothers, I gotta let y'all know, we gotta respect it first before anybody else can. This ties back into that Will Smith shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was my caption on the shit. I was like, yo, to keep it a band though, like we can't, you know what I'm saying? We gotta take the onus on that shit. We can't look at little boys crying and be like, yo, you weak, stop being a punk and shit, and then want to be grown ass men and be able to allow our feelings and our emotions to be like, no, no. We couldn't even do the shit when it didn't matter. It matters now. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, you a kid. You feel me? We believe that kids don't have real world issues. You feel me? Real world issues. I remember being young and telling the old head one time, I was like, "Yo, you getting on my nerves." They told me I ain't got no nerves. Completely dismissed the fuck out of me. Like, you're really getting on my nerves. You annoying me. Like, I ain't got no nerves. The fuck? You feel me? Imagine that for our boys. Every feeling you didn't like, yo, you all right? You all right? Quit crying. I'm gonna give you something to cry for. Whoa, whoa. You already did. Why you think I'm crying now? The fuck? So now we want to become men. It's like, oh, you need to talk to somebody. I can't. I couldn't even talk to nobody when I was a boy. Little boys don't cry. Little boys don't cry. You ain't supposed to cry. But tears are my form of communication. Did you niggas not forget that I was a baby? And all I can do is yeah, 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 yeah. And all I did was laugh and fucking cry to communicate. When I cried, you did something to me. You either changed my diaper or you fed me. Right? That's how I communicated with you. You think it just turns off because I know how to talk now? No, I got to transition out of that shit. Because in learning to talk, when I can't find the words, I cry. Or did we just miss that shit? When boys can't find the words to say, girls too, but this is so for conversations. When little boys can't find the right words to say in a situation, it frustrates them. Now they break down and cry because I'm frustrated. You cannot hear me. I'm talking, but you cannot hear me. But this is the only way I remember that you hear. Boys don't cry. So now, the one way in which I communicated for the first, because 5 and shit. So I guess like for the first half of my life, first 4/5 of my life, I was able to cry when I couldn't vocalize the words. You feel me? Now it's like, but rather than teaching me, here's how you need to develop the words. Now you're gonna have to stop crying, but now I need you to understand what you're crying for and vocalize that feeling that is causing you to cry. So now we can see what it is. Because I'm like, yo, what you crying for? You sad? Mm-mm. I'm frustrated. Why are you frustrated? Because I was trying to do this and I couldn't get it done. And now there's another, I don't know how to do it. And now I'm frustrated. Now you can figure it out. As opposed to, I'm crying, I'm going to give you something to cry for. Wow, just give me the solution to my frustration. How about that, parent? You feel me? But it's hard because a lot of parents don't even have the patience for the kids, let alone the boys. Boys are a lot more active. Masculine energy, they're not the passive energy, they're the active energy. So they're out and about, the boys are going to get hurt. The boys are going to do shit, but it's like we need to be able to feel more than just three feelings, five feelings. You feel me? Because then it's like once we get older and we get sexually active, horny is all we feel. Not realizing that horny is sexual energy and that is creative energy, and we're just really being creative and we don't have an outlet to go be creative. We don't have an outlet to create. You feel me? So then what? Where does it stop? Where does it go? You feel me? It suppresses, makes us emotionally retarded. Imagine, imagine if you were dealing with a motherfucker who stopped going to school in the third grade. You feel me? Now, don't get me wrong. The motherfuckers still know how to read. They can go. I'm speaking societal standards. If you got yourself a motherfucking PhD, you ain't gonna fuck with nobody who dropped out in the third grade. Are you? No, you wouldn't. Right? Because in layman's terms, what that means is you stop applying your mind at the age of 7 or 8 years old in the third grade. Right? Imagine what it would be like to fuck with a motherfucker who never strengthened their emotions. Imagine you take math and shit all the way up to college. You in calculus and shit. You feel me? Imagine how that same thing would be if you started off emotionally, being emotionally available and knowing your emotions and processing them till you're an adult. You're not emotionally retarded anymore. You're not behind the curve. A lot of us is fucking behind the curve. We 30 and 40 years old with the emotional capacity of a 2-year-old. You know why? Because that's when our emotional capacity stopped. That's when motherfuckers stopped allowing us to feel. But we never stop feeling. We still get the same motherfucking cycle every fucking month. Go through the same set of feelings for our particular selves that are chronicled according to the moon because we have blood, water in our bodies and shit and hormones. We're going to go through that same shit, but now we're not able to process them. This is why we be fucking so much for no apparent reason. You feel me? Because the feelings that we allow, we channel our feeling. Like, no matter what the feeling is, we channel. It's like, oh, I'm horny. You're not horny, bro. Well, you are, but you know what I'm saying? There's other things to do with it. So we fuck all the time. We fucking all the time. That's why we got to keep multiple women in rotation and not even realize it. Because every feeling that we go through within a monthly cycle, our months, the different, we have a woman for those emotions and don't even catch it. That's the crazy thing about this shit. We think the team is, oh, I got this chick for this. No, you got a chick for each emotion you got. You got a chick for your cycles. When your emotional space is in here, you got this one that you can fuck with there. When your emotional space is here, you got this one that'll fuck you with you there for that particular space. Now the problem is we fucking all of them. You feel me? Because when our cycle is on, you feel me? Chances are their cycle is on, and we don't even get it. Shit weird, bro. Shit weird that we don't understand this shit. Shit is really weird why we don't understand this shit. And this is not just from the physical, okay, well, we ovulating, that's why you get pregnant, blah, 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 and shit like that. Nah, look, that's on her, but it's on you too, as far as your emotional state. You feel me? Y'all gotta be aligned. Y'all gotta be in that space, but you gotta be understanding of what it is that you feel. Stop lying to yourself. Like, ain't nothing wrong with it. I get it. It's like you don't want to hear, okay, you got a period. Your cycle's on. Call it a cycle. Call it a man thing. Call it a mirror. Call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. But understand that it's a real thing. It's not for play. It's not just, it's not an illusion. It's not some shit that's going to be, oh, it's going to be temporary. No, you have this shit every month of your life. You feel feelings every fucking day. Different things trigger different aspects, and then what we eat and what we put into our body affects how our hormones are going to be in control or out of control. You feel what I'm saying? On us as men, it's time that we address that shit. Like, there's no way, like, especially us that I'm in astrology. I study the stars. I pay attention. Like, pay attention to the motherfucking moon. The moon affects the fucking water. We know the moon is emotional based. We know motherfuckers pop off and wild the fuck out when it's a full moon. We know all of the shit, but why? Why? Because it affects the hormonal functions of the body too, indirectly. The body has things directly that affect as far as cholesterol thing. Like indirectly, it affects the tides of the water. Your body's 90 is 70% water, so your tides will be affected. The fuck? You feel me? I know it seems like, oh, but I know it's a far-fetched thing. Nobody's ever said that men have cycles. Why can't we? That's where the question is coming in. And that's where it's like, oh, because we don't bleed. It's not about bleeding. It's not about bleeding. Because if it was really about bleeding, there's women that can go without actually bleeding. Some women just spot, like, you feel me? But did they miss their period because they just spotted? No, you only miss your period when you're pregnant. But you can actively have a cycle. A woman can actively have a period where she doesn't bleed a lot. Catches her completely off guard because she's not bleeding a lot. She just spotted. You feel me? Does that mean she didn't have a cycle? No. So we think, oh, I don't bleed. I don't bleed like a woman. You may not bleed like one, but you damn sure got a cycle just like one. And you don't handle yours well. You feel me? You don't handle yours well. When I look back at some of the moments in which I fought, it's like when people be like, yo, you could have walked away from. No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. It wasn't no thought in that shit. The way I felt, it was no, like, you feel me? I channeled it into anger, rage, and aggression. Fuck it. There's times when I could walk away because my cycle is in it was in that pocket. You know what? I ain't even mad, bro. It's like, go and do what you're gonna do. I'm in a good space, man. I ain't worried about that, man. Go ahead. But then when you caught me when I was in that space, fuck it. Yo, I just wanted to know, like, if you really said you want to fight me, bro. I ain't know you was gonna fight for real. Bitch, you came up to me like you want to fight. The fuck? You gotta get these hands, motherfucker. But I ain't violent like that no more. You feel me? I ain't violent like that no more. I do process a lot more shit. You feel me? I will still go there. But I think it's a lot more dangerous now because I understand my feelings. So much so, I understand my feelings so well, I know how to use them. So it's like if I know that, okay, I'm in a war-stricken space right now. I'm going to use anger, rage, and aggression. They're not consuming me. I'm gonna use them to consume your motherfucking ass. You feel me? When interacting with women, I put the feelings that are comfortable out. When I know what space I'm gonna be in, I can't talk about certain shit around certain people because I already know where it's gonna take me. You feel me? I know this shit about myself. My brothers, I hope y'all learn this shit about yourselves too, because it's time. It's fucking time. Like you feel me? It's 2022 and we don't know we got cycles. And I know why we don't know we got cycles. Because if you don't know that you got a cycle, right? And your emotion is triggered, you don't think logically. You don't think rationally. When emotions overwhelm your thoughts, you can't process shit correctly. It sounds good. It sounds like you could. Ideally, you would want to, but you can't process shit correctly. Not the way you think you're gonna process it. But what do? We deny and ignore all the shit. You feel me? Got a little boys out here running crazy and shit because now they hit puberty and shit and don't know they got a cycle. All of their little hormones is like all out of control. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all know y'all felt the shit too. Being in the middle of class, your dick just get hard for no fucking reason. It's like, nigga. And it's right when the motherfucking teacher want you to come up to the board. Nope, I can't come up. I got sent to ISS one time when I was in the 7th grade because my hormones got out of control. And I told the teacher I wasn't getting up. I wasn't getting up. I ain't know none of the practices. I know now if I could have flexed my bicep for a little bit, it would have shifted the blood flow. I ain't know none of that shit. I just knew my dick was hard. And I was like, yeah, because no, I'm not. I can't do it. And she was like, why? I was like, I don't have the answer. She's like, you do have the answer. I was like, I can't get up. And she was like, she said, why can't you get up? I said, because I'm up. And everybody in the class busted out laughing. I got rolled up. And when they sent me to ISS, the principal and shit, they was like, why did you say that? Because I tried to tell her every other way and she wasn't listening. I told her I cannot get up right now. because I am not able to get up. And she was like, I was like, I don't know what happened. It just stood up. And I was like, I'm not about to stand there and like, you know what I'm saying? Go to the front of class. I can't. So I was like, it is what it is. But I'm saying that because by puberty, our little boys is like their feelings, they're even like they getting all kind of like women are making them feel a certain way. You feel me? They getting crushes and shit. Where you think that shit come from? It damn sure ain't anger, rage, and aggression. Something is triggered. Something happens. Like you feel a certain type of way. There's certain times you want to avoid certain shit. There's certain times you want to go to it. Like we've been feeling that shit since we was kids, and we don't think it's a cycle. It happens every fucking month. Take a moment for my brothers. This is what I challenge you to do after this episode. Take a moment, mark, like do it 3 times. Do it for 3 months. You might forget because this ain't no shit that we had to do forever. You feel what I'm saying? It's so much like for women, they got this shit on so on Smash. Like women got apps, they got all kind of shit. They just got to put a little bit of the information in and bam. It's like, yo, your cycle's coming. Damn it, damn sure is. And they be on it. You feel me? But for us, it's different because there ain't no shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? But we can find it. You feel me? For 3 months. You feel me? 90 days. Well, yeah, 90, 28 times 3, but 90 days. For 3 months. Every single day, be attentive with your shit. Write down how you're feeling. You do it the first month, write down what you're feeling. Put that paper somewhere else. Don't put it with the next month. Second month, write down the feelings at each individual day. You feel me? The real feelings, like what you feel. Even if you don't know the name of the feeling, you feel me? Because you don't know the name of it, but just write down how you feel. After that 3 months, after you do that for the 3 months, go back and look at the days, look at the dates, look at the times, and look at, yo, I was feeling like this. I feel like this every fucking month. Yes, that is your cycle. I feel like this at this particular time every fucking month. Now that you know it, you can prepare. You know, okay, well, chances are I'm gonna be in this space. You feel me? I'm gonna be in this space, like, you feel me? Like I was saying when I was talking about the podcast and shit. If I know what space I'm in, I'm not recording no shit. That's like, you feel me? That's gonna be offset. Like, you feel me? Like if I know I'm in a goofy state, like if I know I'm in a goofy mode, I damn sure not gonna give y'all anything serious. I'm gonna try my best not to give y'all nothing serious because it's like I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna be fucked up. It's like I'm gonna be laughing and I'm like, it's gonna be so much jokes in the shit that's supposed to be serious. You feel me? And then off the other side, sometimes I'm serious and I had a episode planned that was supposed to be humorous. I can't do that shit because it ain't gonna hit. You feel me? It ain't gonna hit. But at the same time, my brothers, it's very imperative that you go through and do that. I'm not saying you have to. You don't even have to do the full 3 months. Just do 1 month. I say 3 months because the first time something happens is an occurrence. The second time is a coincidence, and there's no such thing as a coincidence. But the third time it happens is a cycle. When something happens 3 times consistently, okay, this happens. This is a cycle. You feel me? So when we're looking at it from that perspective, write that shit down. You start to see you feel a certain type of way at this particular time every fucking month. And then you're not going to need, and on some real shit, you have a higher appreciation for women's time of the month. You're like, oh shit, because I got one too. What do you think she's putting up with your goofy ass? Imagine women putting their feelings on display when their cycle is on. We hide ours and then say we good. And then we wonder why we're in a state of insanity all the motherfucking time. Why we just clashing and shit just ain't working. Because y'all periods are clashing and she sees the shit that you see and you trying to hide. I'm feeling this type of way. I'm good. I'm good. We have said I'm good to the point we are emotionally retarded now. Because we've been good since we was 3, 4, 5 years old. You feel me? We ain't processing this shit correctly. You feel me? But we're not gonna process it until we accept the fact that we got a motherfucking period. A myriad to be exact. And don't forget to check out Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Cafe Clothing. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. But yeah, That last time I recorded this episode, it kind of was just trash and it fucked up. Like the something happened with the mic or whatever the case may be. I guess it just wasn't time for it to flow. You feel me? But you know, hopefully this one is better. I'm pretty sure it is. Like, cause yeah, I'm proofing it. But anywho, and I'm not gonna release if it ain't. Nah, I can't even say that because the last one I released and it wasn't proved. It was proof, but I just couldn't do shit because I was like, yo, this was some cold information. I do not want to repeat this shit again, And I'm only repeating it now because I'm out of the window of where it's in my mind where I'm gonna be mad if I got to record it again. You feel me? That's another thing that ties into our feelings and our emotions. You feel me? How many times have you been trying to do some shit? And I'm just speaking on myself, but applying it to the masses. Like, how many times you been wanting to do some shit and then you got frustrated with the shit and then you had to start over and do it again? And the second time you try to do it, you couldn't put that emotion in it. You couldn't even care for what it is that you're doing because you got emotions jading you right now that are keeping you from doing it again. You feel me? How Franklin say that shit on Snowfall? He said, I built this shit brick by brick, and I'll be damned if I let you tear it down because you don't like the way another nigga talk. That was my fucking coldest line out of that show. But that's real. You feel me? A lot of violence, a lot of the problems that happen with men happen in the world is because men don't acknowledge their feelings. People thought I was reaching when I said uh, patriarchy is toxic femininity, low key. Misogyny is toxic femininity, low key. All of these things are, you feel me? Like they're extensions of toxic feminine shit. Like think about the world. Think about how it is. Motherfuckers go to war over stupid shit. You feel me? Motherfuckers be so emotional. And the world is being run by men who don't know their emotions, don't know their feelings, who also don't have the capacity to understand feelings and emotions. You feel me? But that's where we at. And as men, black men especially, we feel heavy. We feel. Look at Tyrese on Baby Boy. You feel me? When it was time for him to kill Snoop, he couldn't do it because he was a feeler. His homeboy, he shot the shit out of him. You know why? Because he stopped feeling a long time ago. You feel me? He stopped feeling a long time ago. That's why he was a gangster. That's why he was a killer. You feel me? Motherfuckers is created this way. You'll be surprised how much criminality is tied to the fact that you cannot express your feelings. You feel me? You can't express your feelings. That's crazy. That's crazy. More so, it's like, damn, if I would have known I go through these feelings every fucking month, I could have saved myself. I could have been saved. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have been like, okay, I'm not gonna move at this particular moment. You feel me? I remember when I look back, when I was doing some analysis, I remember it was like the last 10 days of school, my senior year in high school. And if you fought, you got automatic 10 days. No ifs, ands, or maybes about it. They press charges on you, right? It was literally the last 10 days of school. And all semester, this is going to be the power of the tongue, but this is also how emotions play out. All semester, there was this guy. He used to talk mad shit, right? From day one of the class. I said, somebody going to knock his motherfucking ass out. He talked too much. And time will go on. We playing basketball and shit. We do this shit. I never played sports with them. Like, you feel me? Like, I will play it with a different team or whatever the case may be, but like, I would never play with that. But everybody's like, yo, let's pick up. So I like, all right, cool, him down. I play. You feel me? And I was guarding him. The guy, like, now mind you, he's a Caucasian guy, whatever the case may be. And he hung with black people. So I guess he felt he was, whatever. But one of my little homeboys, he used to talk shit to all the time. And I'm like, yo, Mike, if you don't knock him the fuck out, nah, man, I ain't gonna do that shit. Cause I'm like, yo. And then I said it, somebody gonna knock him out because he runs his mouth too much. So time is going on. It's a whole semester. We never aligned. It was never intertwined. Like, he talked shit, but it never bothered me. Shit never bothered me. Like, it was just like, you feel me? We be balling and I'm thinking it is what it is. So this particular day, I blamed it on the energy drinks that I had before I came to school that day. And it was like, yo, bro, you lit. Like, I was like, yo, we need to play. I got too much energy, man. I need to go to get this shit off so I can go to second period and be cool, be cool. So I'm, we playing ball and shit. So I'm guarding him. And so I steal the ball from him. And as I steal the ball, the way it landed, it's like it landed behind him, but I was able to, he was like, yo, that's out. I was like, that ain't out, bitch. Now, did I have to call him a bitch? Probably not. Now, fast forward, rewind again. I'm 17 years old. When me and my homies play ball, when we fucking ball with each other, we talk shit. You a bitch, you a motherfucker, you a lame, you a cornball, you sorry. We talk shit, right? So he's not necessarily from the culture, but he's trying to be. He is one of those motherfuckers that y'all invite to the barbecue that get knocked the fuck out in the barbecue. Y'all do this shit to these motherfuckers. But anywho, so I'm checking him, whatever. I steal the ball. And I'm like, yo. He like, yo, that's out. I'm like, that ain't out, bitch. That's how I said it. That's how I flowed. I said, that ain't out, bitch. He said, fuck you, bitch. I said, yo, watch your motherfucking mouth before I lay you the fuck out. And he was like, do it. And he walked up with his chest out. I hit him so motherfucking fast that my second hit that I wanted to catch, like, that was the one I wanted to lay him out with. I wanted to, push him back with the right and come with the left and lay him out. But when I hit him with the right, he fell. So I missed the left. And when I hit him with the, it happened so fast, everybody was like, then they grabbed me. They was like, yo, Ray. I was like, nah, he want to scrap. We can scrap. So they grabbing me and shit. I'm pushing niggas off me, but they pushed me back. I was like, yo, Ray, you a senior, bro. You got 10 days left. That's the only thing that brought me back. Right. So, I want no bitch. So I admitted to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? The teacher came in, he said, did you hit Justin and I? I said, shit. I said, yeah, because I thought he snitched on me. You feel me? Because he's a +1 to he's a cookout invitee, but he's still, you feel me? So I figured he's gonna tell. He's gonna tell anyway. I hit him pretty hard. His shit was black off instinct, like it was of impact. Like I hit him hard. So you feel me? They called the school resource officer. They called so many motherfuckers. They came down. I said, I'm going to jail and I'm getting suspended. Fuck. I was like, yo, this the last 10 days, man. I said, yo, it's like, yo, I was like, my transcript was secure. I had got accepted into college. Everything. I was like, I done fucked up the last 10 days. And I was like, this why I was like, it's prophecy and shit. I said, somebody gonna knock him out. Lo and behold, it was fucking me. I was like, shit. But anyway, so the resource officer and everything, they was like, so we heard somebody got punched. And I'm black, he white. I'm black, he white. They automatically looking at me when they said, we heard somebody got punched. Yes, I punched him, but don't assume that I was the initiator of the shit. You feel me? So so Justin, he say, I'm gonna show how this ties in everything. But he say, oh nah, I got hit in the eye with the ball. He said, when he shot the ball, it hit the rim and I was running towards it and hit me in the eye. And the resource officer and the assistant principal say, is that what happened? Ain't that what he said? Yes, that's what happened. And it was like, oh, okay. They said, well, usually when men have a disagreement, they shake hands. I dapped him up. I said, yo, I appreciate you, bro. After the, teachers and everything left, I said, look, I did hit you kind of hard. And I know if you want to get your face back, bro, we can do so outside of school. But I fucks with you for, you feel me, not fucking my shit up. He said, there ain't no problem. He said, nah, we good, bro. He said, I shouldn't have walked up on you like that. Yes. You shouldn't have walked up on me like that. Shouldn't have walked up on me like that. But we, afterwards we dapped up and shit. And so I go in the weight room. He went back in the gym. I said, I'm just gonna stay away from him. So the teacher, he came in, he was like, he said, you lucky. He said, he saved your ass. I said, you ain't have to snitch, bro. He was like, you snitched on yourself. He said, he didn't even tell me that you hit him, but you did. And I was like, oh. So he was like, I said, I just figured he already told. He said, yeah, man. He said, it was a full moon and I knew it was going to be something. And I'm tying that back in because that was a part of the cycle. I am in a very, very agitated and angry state around the full moons. How did I find this out? When I did my motherfucking chart. You feel what I'm saying? I'm very antsy, very agitated when a full moon is about to hit. So I know this about myself. So I try not to put myself in situations that'll put me on edge. Why? Because I have experience of when, yo, it was a full moon around that time. And I did punch him in his motherfucking eye and it was like, it was no tolerance, nothing. I didn't have to talk long. It was just soon as he stuck his chest up, stuck him. They talked about that shit for so long. It was just like, nobody's seen it, but we know you hit him. I said, how y'all know? They was like, cause he fell. I said, oh shit. but you feel me? But it was like that showed me when I looked at it in hindsight, like, oh shit. This is why I say shit like hindsight is 2020, but foresight can be 2020 if you understand your hindsight. You feel me? So I notice about myself. I'm not gonna put myself in situations just like, okay, let me adjust because I know where I'm at right now. And if I, you know what I mean? Like I know what I do when I'm in this cycle, when I'm in this emotional state, when I'm in this state of feeling. I know what I'm gonna do. So I'm not gonna put myself in that feeling right now. You feel me? Knowing that this feeling is coming is a part of my cycle. You feel me? We've all had cycles, bro, sis. Or the sisters ain't listening. It's so for a conversation. But we all got cycles, bro. We all got them. The question is, what are you going to do with yours and are you going to acknowledge it? Because now you're going to start to see, like, when you go into work, there's things that you can maneuver. You feel me? If I know who to stay away from, like when I used to work and when I used to be an account manager, I knew at certain pockets of the month, I couldn't be in certain spaces. I'd be like, look, bro, look, I can't work with this motherfucker. I can't work with this motherfucker. Like, you feel me? I had situations where I walked away from fights because I knew what space I was in. I was in a good space, and I was like, "Oh, this ain't fight energy." You lucky that I'm not in that cycle of my month right now. Give me about 5 more days, motherfucker, and talk that shit in. I'll fuck you up. But anyway, I say that because when we start to get used to seeing the recurring theme of when we feel a certain type of way, and then we understand that feeling, then we can control the triggers. You feel me? A lot of people be like, "Oh, if you understand your feeling, you know what triggers you." Bitch, you have the opportunity to learn this shit every fucking month. Every month we go through every feeling. Every month we go through every feeling, but it's on you to understand what time of the month you're going through those feelings. You feel me? And learn how to redirect the energy. It's not hard. I talked about it in the universal laws, the 12 keys to understanding you or some shit like that. But it's one of these episodes up here. The law of transmutable energy. Your feeling is a transmutable energy. Can you transmute the shit or does it transmute your ass? That's what you got to get to. That's really what we got to get to. And it's going to start with understanding as men, without saying pause. You feel me? We got cycles. We got periods. We just don't bleed. Think about just take a moment after you like think about some of the times in which you got the most violent, or think about some of the times in which you were the happiest. Think about some of your times and think about how it reoccurs every fucking month. That same time pocket, roughly about give or take 2 or 3 days. You feel it too. But we're only allowed to feel anger, rage, and aggression. So when we do start to feel anger, rage, and aggression, happy and horny. So when we do start to feel those things, any good feeling, I want some pussy. No, you don't. You're related, bro. Today's a good fucking day. How about that? You feel me? Oh, I'm angry. Yo, nobody better not say shit to me, man. I'm on edge, bro. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. You feel me? Like it's little shit like that. It's little shit like that. Like that's why it's like when you start to learn that shit about yourself and you really lock in and you really make it your business to understand every feeling that you have and how they affect you in a monthly cycle, you'll control a lot more of yourself. You access levels of your mind that you never thought you could access because feeling precedes thought. How it makes you feel, if you think about it, it opens up realms for you. Trust me, I'm just giving you what I do, what I've observed, and what I see in every single one of my brothers. Like, it ain't just something I observed in myself and now I'm reaching. I scoped it. I was like, okay, you feel me? I even had little homies and shit that I used to work with when, my little employees and shit. When they used to have fits and be mad and had in moments where, oh yeah, your cycle on. I'm not gonna tell you your cycle on, but I know you act this same way around the 17th every fucking month. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is just how you are. You feel me? Because that's your cycle. That's the emotional space that you come into on that moment for what that cycle does to you. You feel me? I only told like a couple of them. I was like, yo, you on your period. Man, fuck you, bro. Hey, all right, all right, all right. This is why, like, when in households, like, women be clashing and shit. Women be clashing and men be clashing and shit. Like, people be thinking, why is it that your son want to try you when he's 15 years old? Why is it suddenly the daughter wants to try the mother? It's like, no, cycles. And the children's cycle is not respected. The daughter cycle is not respected, and the son cycle isn't known. And neither is the father's. So the communication barrier is gone. Because communication is not just about the talking, it's also about the body language and the feelings that come out to it. Your body language is triggered by the hormones on the inside. How you feel is going to be expressed in your physical expression. When a motherfucker's happy, you can see it on their face. When a motherfucker's angry, you can see it on their face. When a motherfucker's confused, you can see it on their face. You feel me? The physical expression is always going to come out. But do you know how to tap into it? Do you know how to understand it? You feel me? Or are you just gonna keep being oblivious to it, saying I'm reaching the shit and watch? You're gonna start to see how your cycle plays the fuck out. It's like, damn, bro, every month, this is the exact same shit that I gotta go through all the time. But you don't pay attention to it being every other month or every month. You don't pay attention to that because you don't think you're supposed to be affected by one. But again, I could be reaching. Just do your own experiment. Do your own experiment. Like I said, 3 months. That's all it's gonna take. 3 months. And watch how you feel a certain way at a certain time every month. And if you don't, you don't. I'm wrong. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. But try it. 3 months. Two tops, but two at least, but 3 months. Every single month. Write down how you feel. You don't even have to know the feeling. Like you don't have to write down I'm elated or I'm depressed or I'm agitated. Just write down today I felt like dear diary, like Doug. Today I felt like fucking the motherfucker up. Today motherfuckers had me fucked up. Yo, today, man, it was so good. Like pay attention to diary entries. You feel me? Today was a good day. I felt good. It's like, you see how you calibrated so much shit? What feeling were you feeling? Because now you're going to start to feel that every single month around this time. This is real shit. You feel me? And if you look back to some of the experiences in your life, like look at the times. You feel me? Good moments, bad moments and shit. Like, and the way cycles play themselves out, oftentimes is like you'll get so caught up in it that it's normal. And you don't think like, I'm going to end with this. The thing about a cycle is that it can also be a spiral, right? We know the cycle runs in a circular motion, beginning to end, the end at the beginning. It keeps going. But spirals can either go up or down. You have the power to know that this cycle, this particular feeling I'm going to be affected by, I have the power to transmute it how I want to. Do I want to spiral up or do I want to spiral down? Choice is on you. But then the moment you understand your monthly cycle, you understand how emotions and feelings that play out in this world all the time, especially for men. So tap in. Tap in. That's all you got to do. You know, and stop denying your myriad. Ooh. But I'm gonna end it there though. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our boys, start early. You don't look. You don't even have to teach them until they're mature enough to understand it. But sit with a child. Sit with your sons. Watch them closely for a month straight. Well, 3 months if you want to see the cycle. But watch him. Watch him. Watch how his emotions fluctuate. Watch how his feelings change. And watch how it's beyond anger, rage, and aggression. Confusion, all of these different things are going to play at certain pockets. It's going to be on you to acknowledge that and teach your son, okay, you're going to feel this way. So, you know what I mean? Like certain it's so wired to me now. Certain days I won't be in certain shit. Like if I know I'm in an antsy, I don't go to the club no more anymore. But if I know I'm in an antsy space, I'm not going to the club. I know I'll fight a motherfucker. I'm damn sure not going to drink no alcohol under that shit because I know I'll fight a motherfucker. When you start to understand your feelings, you start to put yourself in the situations that you need to be in and take yourself out of situations you don't. You feel me? Let's give our boys that. Our boys need to be able to have that. You feel me? They need to be able to have that. They need to be able to feel all feelings, not just anger, rage, and aggression, because that leads to the gang life, that leads to barbarism, that leads to everybody want to be a thug. Until it's time to do some thug shit. Till it's time to do some gangster shit. That's when everybody want to change it. But those are the three feelings that you allowed. If you allow to feel more feelings, if we allow our boys to feel more feelings and understand them, they can gravitate towards more shit that's good for them, rather than just sports. Because you're angry, let that shit on the boxing ring. Let that shit on the football field. That shit doesn't stop the pain. Because now what do they do when they retire? Let's say they go pro. What do they do when they retire? They still got the same fucking root stuck in them. They can't play sports no more. What do they do? You feel me? This is shit that we as adults, this is shit as we as men have to teach our sons and have to transfer and have to pass it down. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Be sure to kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And as always, welcome back to season 7. Like I said, we diving into some amazing shit. These are gonna be some very deep episodes going forward. Like with So Frail 3 done, I could really talk about a lot more shit now without, you know what I mean? So there's more to life. You feel me? So we're gonna get more. So go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.